All right, welcome back to PyCSE. Today we'll talk about the Conditional Program Control in Python booklet. And this is a method of functions and expressions and statements that are used to control the execution of your program depending on a condition. So for example, you might kind of think of this little cartoon. If it rains, you bring an umbrella, but if it's cold, you wear a hat, and otherwise you could wear something fun. That's the if, elif, else statement that is very common in Python as a way to conditionally run code. Now, when you do that, we need a condition, and the condition is often comes about by using conditional operators. So you can have greater than or equal, less than, like that, and you can combine things to get logical operators in Python to combine conditions. We go over the basic if statement. So if some condition, you run some code. There is if else if you only have two conditions, and there's if else if elif else if you have multiple conditions that you want to check. So only one of these will actually run, and the last one is what runs when nothing else happens. We talk a little bit about other operators, so you can look at membership operators, so that's in and not in. That's another kind of way you can have a condition, so if B is in this string, or if this number is in that list. We have identity operators, which tell you if A is the same object as B. We talk about truthiness because that's really at the core of these conditions, is whether something is truthy. And so you can see here a bunch of things that are not truthy and a bunch of things that are truthy. So you don't have to limit yourself to true or false. You can also use different values. Predicate functions are another way you can use as a condition. So we can have, is instance, is 5 an integer? That's true. So you could use that as a condition. And you could check for floats or strings or other things like that. And you can write your own conditional predicate functions. So here is one that returns whether or not a number is true or even. It's possible to nest them, so we talk a little bit about that. And maybe another interesting point that is relevant in PyCSE is that you can do conditional calculations with arrays. So NumPy supports element-wise operations, and so we can do all the comparison operators to see, say, which of these numbers is greater than 3, and then we can use that to index out to select only the elements that are greater than 3. And similarly with equality, you can do any element-wise operation you want in here. And we talk a little bit about how to compare things in arrays. Finally, it's possible to do conditional calculations on other things. So we can do comparisons on strings, for example. You have to know what this means. It's done in a way that does A come before B in the dictionary? And that's how strings are compared. Other things might be different in what the comparison means, so you have to pay attention. Like this list is not super obvious, but the way it's sorted is first on the first thing, and then on the second thing, and then on the third thing. So 2 is less than 3 in this case, which is why it turns out to be less, even though it's longer. Okay, that's it for what the booklet on conditional program control is. You can find it at the link in the description, and if you need to know a lot about conditional program control, you can learn about it in this book. If you like the video, please subscribe to the channel and let your friends know about it, and that way you'll also hear about when new videos come on. All right, thanks. See you next time.